Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having the most amazing weekend ever so far, and thank you so much for joining me here today. So we are renovating the 920 Medina Studios apartment in San Myshuno today, and we're doing this because of the brand new kit release from The Sims 4, The Sims 4 Industrial Loft Kit. I'm almost positive that's what it's called, and it's been a while since I've done an apartment on the channel. I think the last apartment I did was my 100 baby challenge apartment, so it feels like it's been a little bit of time. I've been concentrating on cottage living builds and then family homes, so I just thought an apartment was a really nice idea, and I know a lot of other people have done apartments with this kit, but I just thought it would be a really nice opportunity for me to have a look at the items and just see how we can integrate them with items that we already have in the game. So we're currently working on the kitchen area of this apartment, and as you can see, it's all pretty much open plan. So the kitchen, dining and living space is all open plan. A lot of industrial apartments that I've sort of seen on Pinterest here and there tend to be open plan. I can only assume because a lot of them are actually renovated from like old factories or warehouses. Obviously in this case we're just renovating an apartment block in The Sims 4, so I just wanted to try and make it this kind of rustic, industrial, kind of run down modern style. I've integrated a lot of different styles into this apartment. I feel there's so many things going on, but I think it works really, really well, and I had an absolute blast creating this apartment and playing around with the new items from the kit. I can say that I am very happy with the kit as a whole. I think it's worth the £5. I think it's £4.99 that you pay for it. I do believe, in my opinion, it's worth it. Being primarily a builder myself, I just think it works. It's nice. I think the items are really nice, and it's just something a little bit different. I in particular love this dining room table that we got with this kit because it's actually bar level height or kitchen counter height, which is something that we don't actually have in the game as of yet. I know we've got a lot of tables this height, but they tend to only sit like 2 seats on them. Obviously with this one you can sit up to 6. I believe you can put one on either end. I just thought it would be a really nice idea to sort of try and integrate it onto the end of the island there, so I thought that was a really nice idea. The kitchen counters are from the Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack, and the cabinets are actually from Dream Home Decorator. So I used a lot of items from Eco Lifestyle, Dream Home Decorator, of course the new kit, because you know that's primarily why we did this kind of apartment, so that's why obviously we used a lot of items from here. I didn't use every single item from this kit just because I found one of the items in particular quite hard to integrate into an apartment like this, and I think it's the shelves with all like the flowers on. I love the item itself, but I couldn't make it work in this particular apartment, so it'd be quite interesting to see if I could make it work in a different setting. But I didn't really know what to do with this space just off to the kitchen area here. I mean, because obviously we've actually got a dining room table sort of attached onto the counters here, so I didn't really feel the need to put another dining room table over here, simply because this is a 1-bedroom 1-bathroom apartment, so I didn't really feel the need to do that. And then I absolutely love these decorative exposed pipes. I don't know what else to call them really, or like vents. I really don't know what they are, but you'll see me just playing around with them throughout the sort of build, just seeing what I could do and how I could make them work. But they do end up changing ever so slightly, but I do keep that in the build, so you'll see how we do that later on. But yes, I am very happy with how this apartment came out, so you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. The living area and the kitchen in particular is my favorite space. I think the bedroom I struggled with incredibly much so. I really struggle with the bedroom, so you'll see when we get to the bedroom exactly what I mean. But the living space and the kitchen space I've fallen in love with. I love doing this kind of style, and I've only ever done it once on the channel before, and it was a long time ago. It was when I first started my channel, and obviously we didn't have all the items that we have now, so I'm still quite impressed with that apartment. But this one is possibly one of my favorite apartments that I've ever done. I'm gonna say it. I've said it. That's it now. I've said it. So I just really like how it looks. Everything's fully play tested as well, and I did something a little bit different at the start with like integrating a sim into the introduction video, which I thought was really, really nice. Anyway, this is the plant item that I was talking about just on the left here. I love it. I really, really like it. I just couldn't find a space for it in this particular apartment. And that's okay. I think it's the only item from the kit I didn't use. Might be mistaken once again, but anyway. The rug that came with this kit, I've absolutely fallen in love with it. I think it's stunning. I love the swatches, and in particular these tricolour swatches, the one in the kitchen and the one in the living room, are my favourite out of them all. But I just think they look so nice. It's so my style. I think my style of decor in real life is kind of rustic, chic, modern. It's really hard to pinpoint, but my husband and I are currently in the process of moving house, so when I move into our new house, I'll hopefully be able to share some pictures of the inside of the house. Anyway, that's a different story altogether. So this is the living area. This is a very rambly voiceover, by the way, I do apologise, but I'm hoping that you've got your tea or coffee or drink of choice, and we're sort of having a comfy speed build, as it were. So anyway, this is the living space. I love the dual level coffee table. I think it looks really nice, particularly in an industrial apartment, but I can see myself using this coffee table in other settings too, so I really like it. The sofa, I love the fact that we have like a little throw over the left hand side. I think it's such a nice touch, although I do think the sofa is quite similar to the sofa itself is similar to one that we already have in game, and I believe is it base game? I don't know. I just remember scrolling through the catalogue while I was doing this apartment and thinking, oh, it's quite similar to that. But I could be wrong. I don't know the ins and outs of every single item in this game. But anyway. And also, if you hear like little sounds in the background, I'm going to try and edit them out as much as possible. But my dogs are currently in the office with me whilst I'm doing this speed build, because my husband's gone out and I didn't really know what else to do with them. So they're currently laid on the rug sleeping, but every now and again they might just make like a little sound. So I apologise in advance. I'll try and edit out as much as possible, but obviously there might be some slight sounds here and there. So this is actually a really big living space, and I struggled slightly, and I say slightly, sometimes with wondering how to fill the space. It's no big deal. I managed to do it, and I just tried throwing in items that could be of some use to your Sims. I used a lot of items from the Myshuno stuff pack as well, which I really didn't think that I was going to do prior to doing this build. I didn't really have a plan going in. I didn't have a colour scheme in mind. Nothing was really in my head. All I knew was that I wanted to try and create some sort of industrial apartment, and it sort of came together quite organically. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I really am. So if you do download this apartment, you'll have to let me know if you've moved any Sims in here and what they're doing, and if you like it. So I love to hear your guys' feedback. So back to the build. So we end up using these crates here. I can't remember which pack they're actually from. I think they're from one of the older packs. I genuinely cannot remember which pack. And then end up just shift 9ing, or just pressing 9 and like moving up this new plant onto there, just as like a little decorative piece. And then this is where you'll see me just messing around with the pipes or vents, and I'm just trying to work out how to make them work. And I think for gameplay, I didn't want them necessarily hanging over the ceiling, because if you guys want to play in this, I want it to be quite accessible. I want you to be able to see your Sims. And I love that huge wall clock. I've used it before in an apartment. I think I did some converted industrial warehouses, again, probably sometime last year at this point, and I remember I used that clock there, but I just thought this was kind of the perfect opportunity to use it again. So this is the bedroom, the one and only bedroom. It's a very decent size, and I struggled so much with placement of items, colour scheme, what to put where. I really did struggle, but I still think it came together quite nicely. It's definitely not as nice as the living kitchen area, but it works, it's functional. Your Sims can sleep here, so you know, they'd probably be spending more time in the kitchen, dining, living area anyway, so we'll just skim over it. Anyway, I used this clock in this room as well, just because I really liked how it looked, but we used it in the black swatch in here, and then obviously in the dark brown swatch in the kitchen space, I suppose you could call it. And then you'll just see me here trying to figure out what to put where, because the room's so big and square. I really didn't know what to fill the space with. So I actually end up using a desk from the Dream Home Decorator pack and just putting a laptop on there, just because I can imagine the sim that lives here would probably be either working from home or would like to spend a lot of time at a computer desk on a laptop or a PC or whatever. So, and it was just a space filler, I'll be totally honest. And then I found this bike from the Eco Lifestyle pack and I was like, okay, I need to include that in this apartment. So I ended up just putting it behind the sofa there. And then whilst I was playtesting, I realized that my sim couldn't actually sit on the sofa, so I ended up just bringing it forward a little bit, so it still looks like it's propped against the sofa. It's just not as close. It's really no big deal. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. So this is me just trying to figure stuff out. What's going to go where? What's going to look good? What can I do with this space? I really did feel quite overwhelmed with it, I think I'm going to be honest. And then also, I took a break between doing the living area and then the bedroom. So I was trying to get back into the swing of it. It was literally a break of an hour. I don't know why. I struggle with bedrooms in general, unless they're children's rooms. I struggle with master bedrooms, generally speaking. And because I haven't done this style for a while, I was like, okay, I'm having a bit of a hard time here, but I was just trying to make the best of it. So you'll have to let me know what you think. And then I ended up using this hallway table from the Cats and Dogs pack because, as I mentioned at the start of the build, I was trying to include some rustic elements into this apartment as well, and I just thought it fit really, really well. And I use it, I talked about this in one of my other speed builds that I've done earlier on, and I was like, I use that table in every single build without fail, and I've even managed to find a use for it in an industrial apartment. Only me. Anyway, this is the desk that I was referring to just a moment ago, and we ended up putting, as I said, a laptop on here and just some decorative items. And then we move on to the bathroom, and then I was like, maybe the sim that lives here is also quite interested in music as well as photography. So I just put a guitar in the bedroom, and then I swap out the guitar in the living room for the black swatch, because I was looking for this one initially and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, I'm getting really annoyed here, so I'll just put this one down and I'm sure I'll find it at some point. And I ended up finding it, and I was like, okay, I need to swap that one out now. So again, not even worth mentioning. I don't know why I'm talking about it. So, as I've mentioned before, we've used a lot of items from the Eco Lifestyle pack because they look kind of makeshifty, and then a lot of the items are quite modern rustic. So I just think they worked really, really well with this build. So very shortly we will move on to the bathroom, the one and only bathroom in the house, and then we'll wrap things up. But this speed build's gone really, really quickly actually. I'm quite surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, because it's an apartment and it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, so it was never going to be particularly long, was it? Anyway, bathroom. Again, very generously sized. I could have possibly made this house 2 bedrooms, but we'll skim over that and pretend that that's not happening. So we're going to wrap things up now. I'm pretty sure you guys are sick of listening to me. Anyway, the apartment is available to download from the gallery. My origin ID, of course, is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description down below. You can get them for free from SimFileShare. But thank you so very much for joining me here today, everyone. You guys take care, and I will see you next time I post a speed build. Bye!